Hi, cuties. Guru Maddie, hi. Catch back up with chat here. Dipping in the middle of our convo. I was still reading the convo while I was setting everything up. Thinking about you when you started, Jamie, my joy is gone because I had to see Otani in a commercial. Well, I'm glad I could give you at least, like, a couple minutes of joy. Usually it's a straight man you're hearing that from. Yeah, Ditto turns into the game fake symbol. The crystal opening is so cute. It's great that even by, like, Generation 2, they knew they had something fun and special with Ditto. But how are all you cuties doing on this lovely Monday afternoon? I have not even been live for 5 entire minutes and Dot is already all over me. And again, she has not attempted to sit on me at all while through most of today. It was great until Otani jumps here. Like, could you give me some more context? Because Otani's not particularly an uncommon Japanese last name, and I don't know if I'm thinking of the same person. Baseball player who hit it big. Oh, propaganda thing. I gotcha. I miss Crystal. I feel like I haven't played it in a while, even though I'm pretty sure I played it some last week. Dot, you are getting between me and the microphone. Oh my gosh. Isn't Otani that baseball player who, like, moved to America or whatever to play for the MLB? Like, I don't really know because, like, I don't keep up with sports at all. Spun store. I think we are going to see... Wait, let me keep the moveset. We'll put it over PlayStation Network Powder for now. He's the big talk in Japan. Everyone's slowly hating him because he's goddamn everywhere. I get it now. Well, I mean, I guess it's one of those things where, like, because I guess ads are regional, so you probably see Japanese ads whenever you open up Twitch. Time to get a VPN. Instead, you can fire up Twitch and see 1,500 apartment.com commercials with that guy from Jurassic Park. Chris Pratt? Oh, no, the guy from old Jurassic Park. I can't remember his name. He wears glasses. He's in a lot of movies. It's still really weird to me that they got Chris Pratt to play Mario in the Super Mario Brothers animated movie. Oh, I can't remember his name either. Okay. He's the sexy guy. Yeah, the sexy guy. He's got that one, like... he's that one really famous screenshot from the original Jurassic Park where he's just laying back with, like, one titty out through his unbuttoned shirt. He's got, like, a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. That's the thing is, like... After maybe, like, 2000, I barely watch any movies unless they're video game related, so... Like, even new movies I watch always end up being stuff from, like, the 80s or 90s. So weird seeing him be sexy in Jurassic Park and seeing him acting like my dad trying to entertain his kids. I mean, I guess, you know, like, every dad is the sexy guy at some point. Time is an odd concept, yeah. Ian Malcolm? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ian Malcolm. Huh? Magooby! I mean, he is still attractive as an old man. It's weird to see. Yeah, it's weird that you can just look at that side by side. But we promised Kubi, and look, it even hatched as a girl. Fuck, I ran out of spaces. The T is implied. I've reached the age where I can see hot talent age as well. I mean, like, IMHL, a lot of these people never stop being hot. Like... The only thing that really makes a person unattractive is being a meanie-faced jerkhead. So hot, but it's reminded that I, too, am aging. I never think about aging. I'm just... Look at famous actor Micaiah Mott's manga. An actress. Well, the word actor can also be gender neutral. A lot of things that used to be gendered have just become gender neutral in English. Little mouse forgets what she's doing in the middle of doing. Okay, I need to put Magby away. Gender isn't real. I ate it all this morning. Oh, that's the secret of being bi-gender. You just say goodbye to the concept of gender. Been having a quarter-life crisis again, so age has been on my mind. I don't know, I've never really had any of those age crises, but the concept of time and I don't gel very well anyway. So, like, in my head, I'm just eternally screenshotted ambiguously somewhere between 25 and 31. Old enough to know better and young enough to do it anyway. Actually, okay, really funny thing. Maddie and I were talking about this weird thing where, like, for some reason, older women have, like, this psychic ability to pinpoint anybody who's, like, hiding their gender or anything. See, for me, it's not getting old that's getting me. It's looking at the time I have left to hit my milestones. You have infinite time left. You're either immortal or you're dead, because as long as you're alive, you're immortal and no one has any proof otherwise, so you have all the time you'll ever need. And also, hi, Rain. How are you doing today on this lovely Monday? Also, we're talking about actors and saying the word actor, and my brain's kind of mushy today, so I didn't even think about the word choice. Yeah, it's pretty neutral. But no, okay. The thing is, there are these older ladies that where I work, right? And keep in mind, when I go to work, I have to mask and pretend I'm a boy and all that stuff. And, you know, one of the ladies, you know, she's like in her 60s, and she's like, so just how old are you anyway, sweetheart? And I'm like, oh, you know, and I made the same old enough to know better, young enough to do it anyway joke. Because I'm always kind of evasive about my age. because most people think I'm in my early 20s. And she pats me on the back and said, "Oh, you're just like a woman." And I'm like, ha ha. Do I have time? It's just this fear in the back of my head. I feel like a lot of people get that in their 20s, and then when they reach 30, you just kind of realize that it was all kind of like blowing up bigger than you thought. Because, like, being in your 20s is kind of the first time you're like an adult. And 30 seems scary until you reach it and realize it was never really that big of a deal. Yeah, in more ways than one. Haha. I hope you feel better, though, Rain. Hopefully, some chill time in Johto can help you feel better. Just kidding, we're going to Kanto. Hopping up and down on the magnet chain. Hopping up and down on the magnet chain. We have arrived in Saffron. We hope to see you again. I had it more than once in my 20s. Like, I'm approaching my 30s. There's atmosphere around me since I haven't reached my goal. It's going to be nearly impossible because there will be near younger talent, which is odd anxiety. Age has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter if they're younger than you. If you're the one who can do it, you're the one who can do it. I haven't gotten to the typical 20s experience due to 2020 existing how it did. As far as I'm concerned, my age is in stasis until things get better. Yeah, I understand that too. Oh, wait, I remember what I came here for. Is Taki on the party? Yes, he is. I also can voice this. I know age doesn't matter. But no, I get it. No, I definitely get it. Again, like, for me, it's also the fact that I grew up in the environment I did with my mom, who, like, you know, she was well into her 50s and 60s and stuff, and still playing video games and collecting plushies and having a Hatsune Miku poster on her bedroom door and stuff. She really did not give a fuck about any of that, and I guess it just kind of translated over to me. Because, like, she had been put through the age pressure thing and stuff like that when she was younger, too, and she's just like, fuck it, I don't care. It's getting to that part where you realize when you're an adult that you can... It doesn't have to be literally this, but, like... I remember, like, I think she goes by Evil Frap. I follow her on Blue Sky. Something along the lines of, when you're an adult, you can just play video games at 3 a.m. and eat ice cream and nobody can stop you. Not really interested. It's a competitive type of thing, especially in the art world. Sometimes you get that feeling in conventions. I don't know, I stopped caring about competition and stuff. I understand it. But, like, I feel like a lot of stuff really gets invested in pitting people against each other. And people will get caught up in it, too. But nothing is really a zero-sum game. The fairy dance. I love seeing the little Clefairy dance here. And some things are, but that's only because they were built to be. Yeah. Smack that Rosh. Made it. To especially conventions is low-key a competition we try to ignore because it's the way we express our niche interest, but there's a sense of war. There shouldn't be, that's stupid. Every convention I always feel like I'm marching into battle. I mean, like, I'm not saying how you feel about it is stupid, but the concept that it ends up having this oppressive battle-like atmosphere kind of sucks. Trainer House. The club for top trainer battles. Oh, I guess I better leave. It's hard to explain. No, I get it. I do think I get it, but it's just like... Hi, welcome to the training hall. You may battle a trainer once per day. Cal is your opponent today. Would you like to battle? Yes. Please go right through. You may begin right away. I traveled out here just so I could battle you. Gotta get my daily calories. Ah, damn it, I forgot to put the experience share on Amos. Yo, I completely forgot what level I wanted to evolve Gloom. Wait, damn it, I don't even have a Leaf Stone yet. I'm waiting for What's-Her-Face to call me. Alrighty, pulling up Sarah B in real time. Pulling up Bellossom. Fun fact, Bellossom is one of the first Pokemon whose Japanese names I learned. Well, aside from ones like Pikachu and Arbok and stuff that are the same in English and Japanese. It's Kirehana, which I think is really cute. It literally means pretty flower, but... I guess I'll just get Gloom to level 35 so I can learn Moonlight. Fighting evil by moonlight? Purdy flower. Hi Cole, how are you doing on this lovely Monday evening? I got it right 3 times and then I fucked it up. Also, hey, since I got my phone out to check Cerebi, let's do my TCG Pocket pulls. If you've got TCG Pocket, go ahead and check your pulls today if you haven't. Also, med check if you have any meds you need to take at night. Check and see if it's about time for you to take them. Also, guys, do I sound okay? Is the game audio okay? Let's do a pack of Paldean Wendays. Ooh, I got a funky sound. I got Squawkabilly, Tatsugiri, Quaxley, Florigato, and I got a full art Gimmighoul. Would be much more exciting if it wasn't my 3rd one. Think it sounds good? It's fine? Okay, cool. I'm glad. I lost. Darn. Get hosed. Daily hosing. Gotta collect those 999 coins somehow. I do at least appreciate ZA giving you a head start on them if you do that one side mission. Doing well, feeling very groggy, dealing with a bit of headache. I feel like that's everybody lately with the weather. I don't know how it's been by you, but for me it's changing like 20-something degrees every day, and then there's like stormy things happening. Also, Rain, thank you for sharing some of the TCG Pocket cards with me. I have the worst time pulling the 2 diamond and then the 3 diamond rares. Like, I'll have an easier time pulling EXs than I will pulling those. I don't know why it happens that way. So I appreciate your assistance. Hi, Liz. Good evening, Mots. This is Liz. Are you awake? Oh, you have to hear this. My Nidoran is so adorable. It always wants to nuzzle me. And, we just saw a really gorgeous Wooper. It must have been Whoopie. But I was on the phone, so it got away. It made me really angry. Okay, I'll call you later. I need a soundboard so I can have a shimmer sound effect. Got hit with the storm, then low degrees. It's kind of rough. It's been really weird today because, like, the skies haven't been clear. It's been cloudy, but it hasn't really been raining much. But it will spontaneously have, like, really aggressively hard rain for, like, 10 minutes or so. Also, I wish there was a game where you could play Kanto, but it actually had, like, the, Pokemon, like, spawns and stuff, like, in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Like the Poliwags and Sintrets being on Route 2 and stuff. It actually, as much as I love Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Fire Red and Leaf Green, it does irritate me that there's not really a game where you can play through Kanto with, like, anything besides the first 150 Pokemon. Having strong wind storms mixed in with rain and thunder, no lightning. Also, I should do my pocket pulls. Yes, pull on your pocket. And save it like rocket fuel. Also started snowing earlier. Weather's been everything today. Fucking Unova ass with just the different season. Just every other day. It's like, if you ever, like, turn on Black or White after not playing them for a couple months, it's so funny because you'll be like, spring, winter. No, it'll be like, spring, summer, autumn, winter, spring. I always forget that the season mechanic is like that in Black and White, and Black and White 2. So every single time I go back to play them, it jump scares me. Because even though those games are, like, among the Pokemon games that kind of live rent-free in my head, it's just one of those attributes about it I always forget. Changing weather more often than I change gender. You hit the Pokemon Center and get harassed. You leave the Pokemon Center and get harassed by the season list. Also, I love that, like, I'm not the only one who always wants to save in a Pokemon Center. I mean, I got in the habit of it because, in Stadium 1 and 2, in order to use the, like, functionality of the stuff in, like, the, Pokemon Lab in Stadium and Stadium 2, you have to have your game saved at a Pokemon Center. I actually wonder why that is. I've never really looked into it. So it's just like I'm eternally in the habit of saving at a Pokemon Center. Because honestly, as much as I love Scarlet and Violet and, as much as I love Scarlet and Violet and Legends ZA, there's something mildly uncomfortable about the open-air Pokemon Centers. It's like, I miss having my little sanctuary where nothing outside can get me. cat mindset. Because especially in Scarlet and Violet, aside from the school, it doesn't really feel like there are any safety buildings you could just go hide in. And you're not really safe at school. I mean, I guess you do have your little room and stuff in the different regions. Which, like, that's nice in its own way. Though I was pretty surprised you can't really decorate your room in Scarlet and Violet. Though honestly, Scarlet and Violet always gets me with, like, just the customization in general is really weird. Because, like, you have so much in-depth, like, probably the best face customization from any Pokemon game. But the outfit customization is actually, like, dog water to the point that it's basically nothing. Recent Pokemon games been limiting it. I wouldn't say limiting, it's just they have different priorities. The thing is, I love Pokemon, I love all the games, and honestly, the Switch games are probably among my favorites in the series. My big thing is that I am not a fan of Game Freak's throw the baby out with the bathwater approach. Like, I feel like one of the most obvious issues they have, it's most obvious when you look at the fact that, like, Generation 2, 3, and 4 all kind of have a funky device that does the same things. Which, like, I get it, but why not just call the PokeNav the, like, just the next-gen Pokegear? Or, the Poketch could have been the Pokegear Watch. It always seemed a little weird to me that, like, they had to, like, reinvent everything. As far as, like, the game... Like, I guess they wanted to give each region... Okay, what's the issue? I don't feel like I'm expressing clearly what I mean. Okay. When they land on something that works... I'm not talking about the Pokemon combat gameplay. I'm talking about the, like... general... like, player interactions and how you interact with the in-game systems and stuff like that. Even when they land on something really good that works, they just won't use it in the next generation. I think the biggest example is the, I can't remember what it's called. I feel so bad. The PSS from X and Y and Oris was, like, is probably still the best online system Pokemon has had. And I have no idea why it has never come back. Yeah, DexNav is another fantastic in-game thing that I don't know why they got rid of. Especially because I love DexNav showing you, like, if you've actually caught every Pokemon in an area. Also, hi, 7th Forest. How are you doing on this lovely Monday evening? I don't know what the weather's like with you, because across everyone in chat, we've got every weather imaginable. Every region has, like, region-locked technology. Yeah, fog and rain, mostly. I gotcha. That's kind of what it's been for me, too. East Coast Fog Squad. Guess I could never really be sure if I never really saw that as an issue. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. But for me, it's like, it especially hurt because, like, with Gen 7, the whole... I don't even remember what that was called. I can't even think of it. The carnival thing for the online was, like, just such a massive step downward. Festival Plaza, thank you, Maddie. I knew Maddie would know. It was such a massive step downward from the PSS, because this PSS was so smooth and useful. I used it like twice. I only ever used it when I had to, but the thing is, I did try to play Gen 7 competitive, and having to go through the Festival Plaza every time you wanted to find matches online, when with the PSS, you could literally just click somebody and challenge them. It was like, why did you make it like this? Why am I here? I should just go to one of those places with 500 Gravelers and fuck. While the Gravelers are watching. Typically go from extremely user-friendly to unnecessarily convoluted on a dime. Ever really used the online feature? Well, fun fact, Pokemon X and Y's online are how I first interacted with most of my people who were the origin of my friend group. Because Maddie and Kubi and I all met on Miiverse. And the first time Kubi and I ever actually had a voice conversation was through the voice chat feature in Pokemon X. And we spent a lot of time playing X and Y and Oris together. Because, like, another wonderful thing with X and Y is I love how the berries were handled in there, where you have, like, a berry garden, but instead of being all over the place like they are in Gen 3 and Gen 4, it was this one little garden, and you could do the cross-pollination to grow rarer berries on your own. And that was just super cool and fun. And, like, PSS Festival Plaza is the only example of that that's actually bothered me. Only game I used the online feature was Monster Hunter 4. Well, you definitely live in Japan. Also, fun fact, the G versions of the Monster Hunter games internationally tend to be appended with the suffix ultimate. Also, really weird thing, North America never got the PS2 version of Monster Hunter 2. Well, it's not necessarily Japanese. There's a big fan base for Monster Hunter in, at least in North America and Europe. Well, I'll just say in English-speaking communities. Like, there's definitely a big Monster Hunter fan base. It was probably at its biggest when Monster Hunter World came out for PS4 and Xbox One. Hello, it is me, Monsty Hunty fan, yeah. Rain is definitely a hunter of the Monsties. But, yeah, it was at its peak popularity with Monster Hunter World, mostly because, starts strumming guitar. Americans don't play handhelds, except Pokemon. Like, legitimately, in America, for the most part, handhelds are just associated with something you either buy for a kid, or you buy it to play Pokemon, or Mario. So, anything big, like Monster Hunter, if it only came out for 3DS, it may as well have not existed. There are so many games that people discovered recently that have been available on, like, DS, 3DS, PSP, Vita for ages. And, I have opinions towards Osaka, but I admit they gave us some of the best things. The girl from Azumanga Daioh made Monster Hunter? Mixed feelings about Monster Hunter World. It low-key looks ugly to me. It is. It's a pretty fugly looking game. It's weird because usually even Capcom's realistic games are like, if I wasn't a scaredy cat, I'd be a Monster Hunter fan too. Well, that's why they have the Monster Hunter Stories series, so you can have the monsters as friends. Playing Pokemon Peach. Twiwi. Yeah. The World Ends With You should have been a much bigger hit. Of course, there's also the fact that The World Ends With You came out as a game that was very Japan-centric at a time when, like, hating on Japanese things was really popular in America. Rise and the pre-World games are more my speed art direction-wide. Same here. Monster Hunter's very goofy, though. Yeah. It is, but, like... Maddie is more talking about how they get tense playing action games. Similar to Identity V, where the concept is spooky but the general gameplay is really funny. I don't know if I know what Identity V is. Yeah, Monster Hunter do be getting intense. My big thing with Monster Hunter that gets me is that, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but the controls by default feel very Capcom-y. But unlike most other Capcom action games, the Hong Kong version of Dead by Daylight, how many tense? Of course you'd bring up such a campy question. At least 3. I hear Monster Hunter. But no, like, honestly, the only thing that I think stopped Monster Hunter from getting popular in the US previously was just... it wasn't on a home console. Granted, it's weird now because, like, pretty much... Okay, the Switch broke the handheld curse for, like, North America. It's also weird because the PSP actually sold really well in North America, but nobody I've ever known has played any games for the thing, unless they're, like, a big hardcore game nerd like myself. Monster Hunter was on PS2, right? Yeah, nobody knew it was on PS2. Nobody bought the PS2 Monster Hunter 1 in America. Monster Hunter requires all parts of your brain, like the amount of fingers you need to play that game. It's funny because the Monster Hunter community, especially on PSP, would call it the Claw. I can see why the general American public would hate it. You don't need to apologize. Fun fact, most of the people who live in America who are in this chat are not people who share the taste of the general American public. Get back to Monster Honey, but I also know that if I do, I'll just no-life Monster Hunter and do nothing else, much like Slay the Spire 2. Oh no, Monster Hunter is one of those things that is crack to ADHD people. You give the neurodivergence a list. I'm not like other Americans. Being Japanese will do that to you. Not like other Americans. I'm pretty sure most Americans are probably not big fans of America right now, Rain. Monster Hunter requires a couple days of business planning, which is why it's hard to get into. Fun fact, I've accumulated a lot of Monster Hunter games and can never really seem to be in the right mind space to get into them. Oh, I bet. Heh. Well, I mean, like, it's not too different from the fact that, like, the majority of Japanese people are in favor of gay marriage, but it took the government forever to even start having places recognizing equal partnerships. Because the representatives do not represent the opinions of the people they're paid to represent. World Rise and Wilds. I have Life, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and Generations Ultimate is huge. Stopped playing Rise purely because it had forced tower defense segments. Ugh. I am not a fan of tower defense. Honestly, if I was handed a Monster Hunter game, I'd play it despite my fear and unfamiliarity. Well, like I said, Maddie, I was gonna recommend the demo for Monster Hunter Stories 3. It has a really good story to it that in the intro and stuff like that. I really got into it. Combat isn't my thing yet, but other than that, it's really cool. Took me years to get into Monster Hunter. I like it a lot. I haven't bothered with Wilds. I mean, Wilds either has absurd PC requirements, or I'd have to get it on PS5. And I don't ever play for... I don't pay for PlayStation Plus because that shit ain't worth it. Parts suck. Not a fan of tower defense either. You know, it's really interesting that people age 70 plus are kind of seen as unemployable due to mental and physical decline, and those are the kinds of people currently running our country. Ha ha! Crazy, right? Hi, Tanya. How are you? This is Liz. I'm fine, but I'm bored silly. Oh, wrong number. Sorry. Thanks, Liz. Got into Monster Hunter is that a 20-year-old helped me with the mechanics. I was a teen at the time. I was so grateful. He didn't try to groom me and suddenly ghosted me. Are you being sarcastic, or did he actually was cool and chill like that? Help, my UI is breaking. Sorry, my chat like crashed out for a second. Hydrate or die straight. Hi, Gusty. How are you doing today? It is funny. I was reaching for the hydrate, and you hit it, and it like canceled mine out. I fucking parried my hydrate. But everybody grab your favorite sugar-free, caffeine-free beverage of choice. I got my water tumbler right here, and take a nice big sippy. Once again, I cut a worthless object. For me, I had a friend in an old job finally get Monster Hunter to click for me. I don't think he plays much these days since he's a dad now. Oh, he was cool, like actually cool. Just one day he didn't message me back, and teen me was a little sad, lost a friend. When I think back, a 20-year-old really shouldn't be interacting with a teen regularly. Just when I see people who get groomed, I look back on adults who interacted with me as a teen. Really lucky they were watching over me. Yeah. Doing good. Drawing more Xenoblade art. Hell yeah. You see, that's the difference between designing a character for a game and designing one for, like, a comic. Because if you design it for a game, you only have to draw it once, and then it's a 3D model, and you never have to draw all those details again. Yeah, for Monster Hunter, I actually own 3 Ultimate on Wii U. I have 4 Ultimate on 3DS. Generations on 3DS, which was the first one I had. And I have World on PS4 that Snack Bandit Kyle actually bought me as a gift. Oh, and I have Stories, the first Monster Hunter Stories on 3DS as well. I don't know, my thing I have realized is that for whatever reason, I just don't do as well with action games on a handheld. Yo, she's doing acid. Monster Hunter Stories 3, baby, just started yesterday, and I started crying and started wondering if I get attached to the characters and why I even get attached to characters anymore. Well, I haven't played Stories 3, so no spoilers, please. But yeah, there is a Monster Hunter Stories 3 demo for anybody who wants to try it. On like PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and I think there's demos on PC. You plan on playing too? Yeah. I'm just a cheapskate, so I'm waiting for it to be stupidly cheap. Also, I'm kind of... Get those Brits some t-shirts and jeans. Stop drawing a buff man for 1 second to see this sentence. Crazy. I know your pain. Stories looks cool, but I couldn't click with the combat in the first game. Direct continuation, loads of returning characters. Okay. I didn't think the Monster Hunter Stories games like had the same continuity or anything. I assumed they were like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or whatever, where like every game's just kind of its own fresh start. To be honest, I don't even know if the Stories games are supposed to take place in the same universe as regular Monster Hunter. I mean, I know they reference hunters existing. I think Stories had a story. Well, not an interconnected one. Capcom's generous with the sales. They got a good deal for Monster Hunter Sunbreak and Rise set. Oh, I know. Okay, it's like the mood, the money, and the sale all kind of have to line up. And I spent far too much on games this paycheck. Combat doesn't change. It's the same rock, paper, scissors. That's all interconnect your face. Ooh-woo. Similar, most Monster Hunter games have their own story. I know a lot of them are like, them wacky monsters are tearing up the ecosystem, so go give them a good old walloping. The fans of mainline Monster Hunter are so funny to me, because, like, you know, they'll be talking about a Monster Hunter monster, and here's my Goo Goo Uwu baby, who I love, and I have 5 plushies of them. Anyway, here's a detailed plan on how to kill it. So far, though, 3 seems to be the oldest in the timeline for reasons I will not say, but can be played completely by itself. Well, I think it's the first one to launch on all consoles, like, simultaneously. So it doesn't surprise me that they made it kind of more self-contained. Because, like, with Stories 1, it was originally 3DS exclusive, then it came out for mobile, and then they released it on Switch and PS4, and then, like, 2 years later, released it on Xbox One. Are you playing 2 on Switch or PC? Calling us out, man! Wait, which part? Meet with Mizutsune. Oh, yeah, that, with it. The weird excitement I feel in this struggling is concerning. That is concerning. With 2, I don't know. I might get it on Xbox One if it goes on sale. I'd like a physical, but I think the only way to get a physical of 2 is on Switch, because I think both the PS4 and Xbox One releases of it are digital only. Talk about how cool Narcagua is, and then tell you the best way to kill one. I was worried having to kill the monsters would be hard, but watched a friend play it, and usually they're so big you're just attacking a texture sometimes. Seeing their tail fly off's really satisfying. You want to get a Mizutsune tattoo? You can confirm it, own it physically on the Switch. Well, I mean, I have seen physical Switch copies. Braki Dios, Tobi Katachi, Astalos, my boys. Here's the attack pattern. Squeal at Gormagala when it's on screen. Don't think twice about beating it down. Monster Hunter brings out your Ooga Booga part of your brain, like hunting gene activates. Yeah. Well, that's because it's not just like, you don't just go in there and go ham. Like, you actually have to understand the monster. And you can actually set traps. It is more like you're actually monster hunting. I want to play some more right now with all this MH talk. I need to get the drawings of Miyabi done. Miyabi's so cute. Or Miyabi, as they pronounce her name in the English dub for some reason. It's so weird. In Xenoblade 3, they get all the other Japanese names right without much issue, but they call Miyabi Miyabi. And every time they say her name, I'm just like, If Shadow of the Colossus had the opposite story. What do you mean? Shadow of the Colossus is a nice, comfy, open-world game where you just go fight the monsters and everything's just fine. So, what weapons y'all run, Monster Hunter friends? Cousin Miyabi from Montana. Longsword, I'm basic. You know where I'm from. A longsword? It's just called a sword. Kay lives in the long dimension. It's true, that's why my cat can just lay on my knee and have her head on my chest. No, actually, Dot got bored with me because I kept sitting in place, so now she's sitting on the floor hanging out with Julia Michelle Heineman. I don't know how it's in the mainline games, but in stories, I'm currently running a longsword, hammer, and a gunblade thingy. You run 3 at the same time. I'm a switch axe. I like flexibility. Guru's a switch confirmed. Noted. Writing it down in my journal. I love launching my fellow hunters in the air because I get so into it. It's like that one scene in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I love Greatsword. Enjoy a whip in your DMs. Oh. Beauty sliding into my DMs. Yes, thing, if you want me, just send Xenoblade. Ooh, that looks so good, Gusty. I do like Switches. You know, jokes aside, I am seriously thinking, like, in my personal brain ranking of game consoles, the original Switch might be either equal to or possibly surpassing the original PS1 for me, which is really weird to think about, but, like, the more I think about it, the more I just love the console so much. Never get into the Fujo mindset where this bottom can only bottom and vice versa, because what if I get bored? I mean, not only that, when you're in a long-term relationship with somebody, you're gonna try different stuff. It's ironic when people try to put rigid roles onto gay relationships, because, like, congratulations, you're heteronormifying the gay people. Why would you do that? Like, Sword and Shield, Longsword, and Insect Glaive. I usually ran the, I don't know what they're officially called because I haven't messed with Monster Hunter in a while, but I usually ran the twin swords or the twin daggers because it gave you more agility and stuff. I always like fast agility builds. Tiny little mouse must scamper. Dual blades. Okay, yeah. Because the thing is, like, I wish I could, like... Maybe I just need to emulate one of the, like, Freedom Unite or something, but I wish I could play, like, the handheld Monster Hunters, because I like their vibe, but, like, on the TV with a controller. No, like, the Switch wasn't that bad. Says controllers want to Tokyo Drift away. Well, my thing is I always play them with Pro Controller, so I never really had that issue. But besides, for me, Game Library is the biggest, like... So I'd say, like, without trying to put them in, like, any kind of ranking or something with each other, just off the top of my head, my favorite consoles are probably, like, PS1, Switch, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, PS2... Probably the PS4, but I really need to spend some more time with it. Really don't like feeling weighty in games, so I'd probably run something light and fast, too. But that's the thing, is, like, I did experiment with some of the weapons in Monster Hunter, and the heavy weapons feel heavy. Sunbreak. Monster Hunter Sunbreak exists! Oh, yeah. I love Sword and Shield for decent attack speed, but testing what I can block. I like them because, like, I feel like Sword and Shield had a really good art direction for the characters, and a lot of the Galarian forms were really cool. Low-key, I probably should try picking up the Rise and Sunbreak bundle sometime, just because, like... I did try the demo for Rise before it came out. And I did like it, and plus you get a dog buddy who's your buddy. I like the power behind weighty characters and weapons, but it feels like I have a rock on my chest. Ah, to have big rocks on your chest. Look here. Tee! Still need to get to a lot of the DLC. It's a satisfying breaking the heavy weapon does. Can't explain it. Oh no, I feel it. Like, using... I know it's not the same game, but using the heavier weapons in, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom also has that same vibe. My brain works fast, disregard efficiency. It's also funny because they do something similar to Monster Hunter and Tears of the Kingdom and stuff in Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, where, like, the big heavy weapons with the wide arcs are, like, kind of slow and clunky, where the other weapons can be, like, quicker. But it's so funny to me because Aria of Sorrow, the GBA one, which you guys watch me play both of them, but with Aria of Sorrow, there is no downside to using a big heavy weapon. They're not slower or anything, so you just have these giant weapons that arc across the entire screen. my brain is constantly working with how can I make this about Castlevania, Mega Man, or Breath of Fire 3. I always feel so bad because I feel like half my comments on Seventh Force's videos about anything Capcom related somehow end up looping around Breath of Fire 3. Rise's special moves for the weapons are so cool. I really had to read that twice. My brain was really processing it as Risei, and I'm just imagining Risei Persona 4. Just like, special weapons? But she's usually the navigator. That's how I knew you were cool, don't worry. Well, thank you. So much fun in the Great Sword kit. Hope they bring the alt movesets one day. Actually, okay, now that I think about it, it's really weird that Monster Hunter has never really had any Breath of Fire crossover, because I feel like that'd be like a freebie almost. I mean, it's already Capcom. I'm only a fast-paced person that would play action game. Monster Hunter doesn't make you feel limited when you're playing a heavy weapon, surprisingly. Well, again, that's because like it doesn't really have canceling into dodges and stuff the way like something like Devil May Cry would. So speedy stuff doesn't have the same advantage. You get to dress up as Ryu? Which game? Or are you setting me up for a joke and you're talking about Street Fighter Ryu? I've used the LBG. They have gay weapons. Dual blades and great swords as my weapons. Wrong Ryu. Cole. Ooh, I'm shaking my little mousy fist. Rat clenches fist of rage. Fire rarely gets anything. Street Fighter 6 is just about the only bone thrown. The only bone thrown, the boss like King Koopa.
Mods, good evening. It's me, Gavin. How you doing? How are your Pokemon doing? My Kingler's doing great, as ever. Let's keep at it and become Pokemon champs. A while back, I tried to catch a wild Noctowl, but it managed to elude me. One wrong decision could mean total failure. You ought to be careful too. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
I think I've mentioned this in one of your comment things before, Seventh, but I feel like Dragon's Dogma, I was shocked that it wasn't a Breath of Fire spinoff. I mean, Dragon's Dogma is good for what it is, and it's not the direction I'd want the series to go in, but I mean, come on, even Breath of Fire Dragon's Dogma rolls off the tongue. Because like, so when it was first announced, and it was an RPG from Capcom, it has the word dragon in the title. What was I supposed to think? Breath of Dog. That is fatal. Dragon's Dogma actually had Breath of Fire staff working on it. Breath of Fire staff works on everything. It's the funniest thing because Dead Rising is basically an evolution of the gameplay structure of Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. Still not over the scenario writer for Breath of Fire 3 and 4 being the director for Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse, though. That's another one of those games that everything comes back to, because, like, holy shit, that game is an entire rabbit hole. Like, that's a whole-ass iceberg video in and of itself. It even has the house-like carpet. Brain activated. So much fun, just updated style for the arts in Generations Ultimate. You know, I should probably actually grab Generations Ultimate sometime, because I like Generations, but again, wanted to play it on a controller on a TV, so that's literally exactly what Generations Ultimate is. It's the 3DS game on a TV. Pretty much put together World Tour for Street Fighter 6 explains Fulu being a boss in there. Oh. Oh, Folu. I should look up his, like, how his name's written in katakana. Dead Rising's one of those games where you can marry both a Western and Japanese tropes and maintain its goofy style. I feel like Monster Hunter World's missing that because of the realism focus. Yeah, honestly, I feel like the Dead Rising follow-ups, which were developed by Capcom Vancouver, didn't quite get Dead Rising. Like, they didn't understand why it worked. And I feel like that's why, even though they sold well, none of them really quite hit the heights. I'm trying to think of how to describe this. Like, in the public consciousness the same way the first one did. I mean, I think it's telling that the first Dead Rising is the one that gets all the remasters and remakes. Hollywood has its goofy concepts combined with Japanese odd sense of humor. Oh no, that's what makes Dead Rising so perfect. I actually really love a lot of Japanese takes on Western tropes. Like I said, I didn't engage with Dead Rising much past the first one, 7th. I did play a demo for Dead Rising 2. But yeah, like, I feel like 3, at least from what I've seen, looked like it went for a more serious tone, which, like, you're kind of missing the point of Dead Rising. And then, like, 4 tried to go so far in the opposite direction with being, like, goofy and shit that it didn't work. We don't talk about 4. That seems to be the general consensus. Also, I'm pretty sure Dead Rising 3 is still Xbox One exclusive to this day. It was a launch title. Because Dead Rising 1 was originally an Xbox 360 exclusive, and I don't think it was a launch title, but I'm pretty sure it was like the launch window. I think it was still in the first year. And then it got a remaster for PS4 and Xbox One. But in between that, it also got a Wii version that's a completely different game that uses Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition's engine. Basic girly, I enjoyed Dead Rising 3 to watch the timid mechanic guy be blushy. I'm not going to judge. If nothing else, I think Capcom has a great history of making mechanics and shop owners incredibly charming. 360 version of Dead Rising 2 still has canon DLC exclusive to it you can't buy anymore. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. It's like $5 or something. It's this weird thing that's kind of DLC, but it was also kind of a standalone game. Speaking of Capcom things that need some kind of re-release or remastering, where the hell is Ashura's Wrath? I mean, it was developed by CyberConnect 2, and CyberConnect 2 has a chronic case of never missing. Mobile games don't count. There were 2? I must be getting them confused then. Protag's low-key cute. I feel so bad because the game is very mid. I'm amazed a Japanese person played an Xbox One game, honestly. I'm half joking, but I feel like that Xbox One barely launched in Japan. Then again, I don't know if you were living in Japan at the time or not. Joyce says he's always dealing with exaggerated characters, bringing out his charm. Oh, okay. Guru, there is nothing wrong with finding the good and the appeal and the charm in games that are considered to be mediocre, because here's the thing. Mediocrity is relative to perspective and personal experience. What may be one person's mid-game that they didn't really gel with could be another person's fascination. Trust me, there are a lot of games I absolutely love and adore, that are very unpopular, that are considered to be mediocre or weird or bad or Dark Horse entries in their series. Case Zero is the standalone, Case West is the canon DLC. Okay, yeah, I definitely got them too confused. After the main game, you need the main game for the latter. Gotcha. Didn't play Dead Rising 3, just watched the gameplay. Okay. Why does everyone think I lived in the States? Never left Japan outside of family trips. I don't necessarily think you did or didn't, but considering your mixed heritage, I don't know if you ever did have to go live in the States or not. Because some people do go back and forth across their life if they have mixed heritage. Yeah, Xbox didn't get much popular in Japan. Always defaulted to PlayStation. Because I know the Xbox 360 kind of had its moment. With, like, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, Tales of Siberia, Star Ocean. Basically all the stuff I bought an Xbox 360 for. And then, like, a year later, all those games got PlayStation 3 versions, and Japan never looked back. Guru lived in all 50 states for a year each. Don't trust her word. This information's spreading and I'm too sexy to do anything about it. Real life struggles. Lost Odyssey. Loved that game. There's a rumor, and I hope it's true, but keep in mind this is not a rumor. This is a rumor. It's not confirmed. But there's a rumor that Xbox may be doing something with, like, having 360 backward compatibility extend to PC. And, that would mean maybe Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon could be playable to more people. Why'd you pin that teehee? Because it's funny. It made me laugh. Xbox One's semi-popular. Okay, from what I have seen, Xbox Series S, like the digital-only cheap one, seems to have gotten a little bit of a fan base in Japan. And I think that's why a bunch of Japanese games will get Xbox digital-only releases. Because they ported, like, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, the triple chi breasts, and a Brazilian tiny bikini barely covers my nips. Well, I wasn't imagining that, but I will now. Too funny not to, yeah. Guru learned how to perfect cornbread living in Texas. Cornbread! Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nobody's gonna get that reference. Yo, honestly, Maddie, how dare you? Now I actually really want some cornbread. I have not had any in, like, a while. I thought about buying some from the deli at Walmart the other day, but by the time I got back up to the bakery area, I forgot what I had come up there for, so I didn't buy it. ADHD. Oh yeah. I forgot. Don't know what's going on anymore. I forgot. What did I come to the kitchen for? I don't know what's going on. Beautiful rendition of that song. Thank you. You know, as a Southern guy, this may sound blasphemous, but I do not like cornbread. I don't think you're a Southerner anymore. Revoking your Southern card. Sorry, you're gonna have to change your name from Hamburger Shotgun to something else. Gatekeeping you from your corned bread. I remember when I was a kid, connected Xbox games to shooters, very war-focused, felt like Xbox nowadays are more flexible. Yeah, I feel like Xbox kind of built that brand for themselves because people came to Xbox for Halo and Call of Duty back in the day. It's always been fairly diverse, at least from the 360 onward. The original Xbox still had a pretty good library, but it had very few Japanese games, so I didn't play a lot of games on it. Never had cornbread before. Gasp. Okay, I'm sending you a cornbread, Augusta. Just gonna mail you a cornbread to Germany. Saw a guy get disintegrated in front of a Bojangles for saying that once. I'm surprised someone in New York knows what a Bojangles is. I'm not being sarcastic. I actually recently found out they're regional. Had some mid-cornbread, but overall I think it's super good. Rip that guy. I think I disappointed my Floridian side of my blood by not liking cornbread. Wait, you're part alligator? I knew it. No, wait, Guru, that explains why you're always going on so many wacky misadventures. Your DNA is half Florida man. In Germany, we're spoiled on bread if your cornbread's not that great. Fair enough, but... Okay, send me some German bread. We'll have a bread, like a cultural bread exchange. Have family in North Carolina. Oh, cool. They're actually not that far away from me, then. We got a Bo Angles up here recently. Oh, neat. I should tell Kubi, because she doesn't live that far away from, New York. Like, they're up in the upper East Coast. But Kubi's never been to a Bojangles. I think she'd like it, though. It has chicken. FPS wasn't popular in Japan until the 2010s. This ain't a safe space for yeehaw and hootin' and hollering. I'll take my ass back to Jack's then. Oh, no, you can hoot and holler as much as you want. Don't worry, Cole. You're like the token character, like Chibity Crockett from G Gundam. So when we have the beach episode, you're gonna show up super buff in your like super tight Speedo that's got an American flag design on it. And you'll be like, "Ah, oh, this reminds me of the mashed potatoes my ma used to make." Scott, I don't think German bread will make it over the States without becoming moldy unless I freeze it and send it in a cooling box. No, it's okay. Don't actually send me bread. I will burn my bread. Probably haven't been to one either. Okay, I guess we're all going to Bojangles together, guys. Haven't been to Bojangles since that one time in North Carolina, but I think about it every day. I'll make it out to the one up here eventually. Why do I keep misspelling it? Bojangles has no true spelling. I'm a Florida man and Okinawa, half Florida man, half Okinawa woman. Both are chaotic. This explains so much, Guru. I say that with love. Super tight Speedo. Oh no, my pants are tinting. New York has cats to hunt rats? Please say yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure every place has cats to hunt rats. Fortunately, Dot and Julia Michelle Heineman aren't on to me yet. There's a Bojangles and a Boja Devils. God damn it, Maddie. Stop being funnier than me in my chat. Don't stop, I'm kidding. Never stop. This tent can house a family of 5. I have always wanted to go to a bodega that has the cats in it. There's just something wonderful about just going shopping and cats just chilling and knocking stuff off the shelves and being cats. Planning my trip to study New York culture because I care about that. Follow an account on Blue Sky that posts bodega cats and it brightened my life a little. One of my favorite accounts. I know this is a beach, but hoo-wee! Sanded my piggies, huh? Got
Piggy's hollering. Get some sunscreen, else I'll be burnt like a weenie on the grill.
My brother who lives in New York never tells me about the cats. He keeps telling me about ugly baseball mascots. Lame. Get a new brother. Literally just called Bodega Cats. Yeah, it shows up on my feed every once in a while. I'll show up on your feed. Yeah, that's how following people on Blue Sky works, Maddie. Yay! I mean, you'd show up on my feed more if you would show everybody your cool art that you're always working on. Only baseball mascot Discord I ever was Mrs. Met, and that was exclusively because of her ass. No. Oh. A gay man who likes sports? It's more likely than you think. I mean, why wouldn't gay men like... Oh yeah, like, for example, American football, the most heterosexual pastime of all time, where a bunch of men wearing tight things that really accentuate their asses all get on a field and tackle and pile on top of each other in the pursuit of grabbing balls. We can go back in a room and all get naked. Hi, Alan.
Hello, it's me, Alan. I've studied quite a bit since then, and I've gotten a lot better. I'm hanging out on Route 36. Can you come down for a battle? I'll see you later.
Please, well, it's true. Okay. Cannot fly on my Arcanine, though that would be sick as hell. Baseball players have that fat ass, so... I don't know why, but a popular American slang term is to compare how far you've gone sexually with somebody to baseball. And to be honest, I'm moderately unclear on which base is supposed to be which. Baseball and soccer players are so tea. We got baseball and want to see a Seattle Mariners game. Didn't the Seattle Mariners used to belong to Nintendo? Also, that weird period in the history in like the late Super Nintendo and early N64 where Nintendo just had a deal with Ken Griffey Jr. So there were just a bunch of Ken Griffey Jr. baseball games exclusively on Nintendo systems.
I waited around for you. I'm thoroughly prepared today.
Don't speak hetero, same TBH. Zatu. Oh boy, I did not bring enough cuties with me. And I forgot to put the freaking Zatu so chubby. Vite. If I recall correctly, first is kissing, second's touching, third's oral, home is sex. Never understood the origins of the analogy, though. I guess? I don't know, I feel like that doesn't always necessarily happen in order anyway. At least not from my personal experience. We got into Mariners because I like the color green. Where they're usually underdogs. I don't know why, but I originally read that as they're usually hot dogs, which are very popular in baseball. Oh no! Future! Kea has sex without ever touching. Shh, Maddie, you weren't supposed to tell everybody my secret. Looking up, it was a 40s and 50s thing. Ah. Basically code words kids use to talk around adults. Okay. I'm pretty sure talking about sexy stuff was pretty taboo back then anyway. I feel like a lot of... I feel like a lot of euphemism words that really aren't euphemisms anymore originated from that time, especially because like half the words for a penis are like dudes' names, you know, Dick, Johnson, Peter. Balthazar. Yo, he out here whipping out his Balthazar. I accidentally hit the desk. Johnson's always made me chuckle because half an outside of the family have that last name. It's a lot of Johnsons. I like to imagine once you reach third base, you have to sit your ass up and wait for your partner to hit a ball to dive into you. Well, just do that one leg up slide. Like, you know, the bottom person would just, like, do the one leg up slide and just, like, latch themselves on. And it would make a thump sound when you connect. Mostly want to go to a baseball game for the vibes of chilling with a homie and watching. One thing I always think of with baseball is this one meme I saw of somebody at a baseball game. It's, like, really bright out in the summer. And the camera's from behind them, and they're wearing a backwards baseball cap, and they have their hand over their forehead to block the sun out of their eyes. And it just had, like, an Instagram caption on it or whatever that, was like, oh man, if only there was something you could wear to keep the sun out of your eyes. Oops, computation error. You zoned out until you went foomp. Boom. Boomp yourself. Everybody does the wave when the penetration happens. I mean, is that not normal? Like porn, but better because everyone's cheering for you. That's what all the plushies on the bed get to do. They're like the whole cheering audience section. Persevere. Umpire screaming safe has a different connotation. My bed was big enough to house plushies. I have like multi-generational plushies because I also inherited all my mom's plushies. Making me tear laugh. It's so bizarre to imagine. Teddy Ursa and Jirachi plushies. What happened to them? Did you lose them when you moved or something? Moved. Is that the right term? Yeah, that's move. Why am I trying to make up a new past tense for the word move? I'm tired. Okay, what levels are we looking at? Let's go check the daycare again real quick. Successfully get it in the umpire's safe! Hi, Dot! You gonna step all over me and sneeze in my face? That isn't big enough to house plushies. It houses them anyway. Dog got after them. No! Oh, that's tragic. And also makes me glad I don't have a dog. Dogs are cute, but, like, someone else's dog is cute. I do not want to own one. They're a lot to take care of. I mean, I honestly didn't intend to own a cat, but she forcibly self-adopted. When I was younger, I had them sit with me as we watched YouTube. Aw, that's so sweet. I'm not making this uncomfortable because of my spicy talk. If somebody's in my stream, they're probably used to this kind of thing right now. Make this as funny as possible. First dog was a plushie destroyer. Dog now loves plushie, just leaves non-toy ones alone. You do not choose a cat. A cat chooses to own you. True. First dog with the faces off my coat. No! I can't take plushie horror stories. My dog chewed up my favorite tiny figure that named Mr. Yo Guy. Sad. Wayna here. Today's password is, let me think, it's Cyndaquil. Let's go get our point. I've only really ever had one dog when I was like... Shout out today's password, it's Cyndaquil! But I only had one dog. Her name was Coco, and she was very well trained. She would never go to the bathroom in the house. She didn't tear up anything. And the only thing she would play with is her designated toys. She was really cute, though, because she would bring her, her toys to somebody when she wanted to play. She'd, like, carry them over and drop them in front of you, like, So I'd find a way to have Ursaring and Jirachi on my team. Aw, yeah. Well, hey, Cole, you could probably do that in Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl, because if you have save data from, I think not Legends Arceus, Sword and Shield, you'll get a Jirachi early in the game. I have a bunch of Gen 4 Pokemon plushies, and I now have 0 due to combined effort of our first dog and the Void. Oh. Recently had to talk to a friend who was sex repulsed and being mindful during a draw pile. I was not allowed to draw Leon with a dildo. I know what you mean, but my first image of that was Leon with a strap on, and I'm like, why would he need two? Not that I'm not judging. Dotson was named Coco. Family has a border collie that passed away by the time I was like 2 or 3. I think we had Coco from the time I was like 13 to maybe like 16. She was already a couple years old, my daughter. Implying Leon has a dick. Dream bigger. One memory of her, and I'm just hugging her in our kitchen. Aww. Let's move Fritter over for a moment. Pocky, you can move over for a moment. Was that a visible bulge? Drawing a low is a step too far. Leon Kennedy, I saw Leon from Final Fantasy VIII as Gunblade just being a giant dildo. I mean, ow, but I'm not saying I'm not into it. Ah, yes, good old Cumblade Chronicles. Let's go ahead and move Starkiss back over here with Fruit Stripe and Tamale. Okay, Fritter back in the party. Back to adventure. Okay, so one of these eggs was Magby. I guess the other two were Elekid and Smoochum. Let's see if we can teach Chansey a special attack. Do I have... Okay, can you learn punches, Chansey? No. Oog. That would be why I haven't taught Chansey any special attacks. Shit. My bacon jalapeno pizza is now cooked. Sorry I went quiet for a while there. I was terrified my internet was going to cut out, but it didn't. And I went to check the stream on my phone to make sure that it was still streaming. Sorry. You know, honestly, I'm kind of in a pizza mood. I have these really good Red Baron frozen... They're like French bread pizzas, but they don't have any sauce on them. So what I do is I'll cook them in the toaster oven, and then I have like a jar of pizza sauce, and I'll like spread it on there with a spoon. It's really good. I've always wanted to have Chicago-style deep dish pizza, like real deal Chicago-style deep dish pizza. I like pizza. That's when you put cheese and you put it on bread, and I'm just like, yes, that is my food. I had it for the first time. Whoa. What's your pizza opinion? Very funny timing for my stream to freeze for a moment. Fear. I mean, knocking on my wood. But I haven't had any internet problems today. Deep dish honestly feels more like a cake/pie. It's understandable. Dude, I just love all the cities in Johto. It's just such a happy place. Lots of crust. Yeah, it looked like, well, I mean, obviously it's a deep dish pizza. That's kind of what I expected. But man, I already know where this pizza's gonna go. Straight to my hips. Like 40% crust at least. That's kind of like the planet Earth itself. Leon, because one of my friends is like, ugh, I don't know why everyone likes Leon. He's so hot and sexy, and I just don't see it. I guess they don't have eyes? I guess I'll go back to Blackthorn and fight the Gravelers some more. Because we only got a couple more levels we want to get for Amos. Damn it, I don't have a Leaf Stone, though. I guess I'll work on... You scaring me. I got pizza recently, I'm in the mood for it. Are our periods in sync? Are we one? Okay, Guru. I kid you not. Even though I do not have parts that do this, whenever Kubi or Hexshoe is on their period, I start getting weird cramps and I get grumpy and pissy. Low-key jealous of Leon. It's funny to listen to that rant. So yeah, I don't know why, but apparently my brain and body have decided to synchronize my periods, even though I don't have period parts. Also, being jealous of a fictional character is so funny to me in a weird way, because, like, you do know they're not real, right? Don't need a period, we can sync them. Wait, what? Oh wait, crap, I just remembered that I always associate the Oddish line with having, like, moves like Giga Drain and Mega Drain and stuff, but I realized that I raised this Oddish to have Razor Leaf, so I can't actually just, like, full absorb a Graveler's. Leon's not real? I mean, he can still be real in your heart. You see, that's the great thing about fictional characters, though, is that, like, whatever you make up for them in your head can technically be true, because whatever version of them you imagine is real to you. I'm a straight guy, and I understand the appeal of Leon. I just find him cool and funny, other than hot and sexy. Witnessed the funniest example of that kind of jealousy with an old acquaintance a few years back. You mean Shahir from the hit MMO Guild Wars 2 is not real? Hey, just because the person's fictional doesn't mean your emotions are. Actually, everything's fake. I mean, yeah, kinda. I mean, most misunderstandings between people often come from the fact that one person made a headcanon about somebody they don't know that well, or partially know, or thought they knew, and then that person didn't match their headcanon, so now they hate them. I'm a figment of your imagination. I'm imagining beautiful women. This hallucination rocks. Partially, it was also German voice that hooked me. English one's fine, but damn, German one makes me happy. Used to be friends with someone who's now ex was a big Sephiroth fan. Everything's fake. Does that mean I'm actually packing? Sure. I mean, Vienna sausages still have to be packaged. Where are you going on vacay? I'm taking a PlayStation vacation. Sweet, I'm gonna hide it in my Speedo. Mito in a Speedo. I kinda want some Doritos. Just being packy as in carrying a gun. Well, I mean, I guess you are the token American character. He hated it, made him get all weird and jealous. She eventually broke up with him, ended up meeting a really cool Sephiroth cosplayer. I mean, I'm glad for her. Honestly, like, that's the thing is, like, if someone's getting jealous of a fictional character that you like, that is a serious red flag, because how are they going to act if even someone you have a neutral, positive relationship with dumped him for the real thing? Yeah. You know, that is actually really fucking funny. He got so freaked out and jealous of Sephiroth, and then Sephiroth actually stole his girl. Like, okay, jokes aside, I'm not a big fan of the idea of quotation marks steal your girl. Because, like, whether it's guy or girl, if they were unloyal enough, not necessarily disloyal, but okay, if they're going to leave you for anybody at any point, then there was already a problem in the relationship, whether it was with you or them. So blaming the person who took them away is not, or you think took them away, quotation marks, isn't really, it doesn't sit right. Because they had to have wanted to leave. That's not really related to your story, 7th. Funny, you think men value the agency of women. She only ever met the cosplayer because the ex got so insufferable she started going to more cons and events to get some peace of mind. Again, it's like, it's almost feels like destiny when stuff like that comes together. Self-fulfilling prophecy, yeah, exactly. Someone actively bullies you for liking a certain character, especially if it's a franchise that they got you into the first place. You bullying people, poking fun at you. Why Starscream of all people? Listen, okay, sometimes you just fall in love with a character that happens to just be the most evil little shit. Sometimes there's a very deep intersection of, I want to smooch this character, and boy, do I just want to see them get their ass kicked. Like, poor girly. Yeah, it's like, it... I would have a funny fan service scene where an agent at the beach pulled a gun from a Speedo, jiggle physics and all. That would actually be pretty great. I mean, honestly, okay, I think, I don't know if any of you guys watched season 1 of One Punch Man. I think the ball jiggle physics from Speed of Sound Sonic, where he accidentally lands his junk on Saitama's knuckle, I think that needs to be the standard, and we need, like, dick and ball jiggle physics more often. I once met a girl who couldn't play Love in Deep Space because she wanted to be loyal to her fiancé. Get bullied by an ex-friend who got me into Guild Wars 2 because one of their comrades for liking a character I had you draw. And then get mad at me when I continued playing the DLC where he died on my own. Huh? Always see couples where the girlfriend would like a fictional character that has similar features to a boyfriend. Don't see the jealousy. Yeah. That's kind of the thing, is like... Then again, I feel like so many people go into relationships not having any... Like, they don't see the other person quite as a complete human. Then again, I feel like it's not just a relationship thing or a gender thing sometimes. I feel like there are just a certain subset of people who never learned how to see other people as complete humans. Moonlight. Moonlight and Synthesis do the same thing. Why was I worried about learning that? Girl, where is your Brian? Where is your Brian? We'll keep Synthesis because the other one has Moonlight. Fighting evil by moonlight? Snapping neat dick and ball physics, like, right? Honestly, it is the biggest betrayal to me when they'll have, like, a scene where, like, a very much intended to be cisgendered male character is in a Speedo or a leotard or something, and it's just completely flat, not even shading. And it's like, I get it a little bit if it's like a kid show or something, but like, especially if it's one where like, you know, the girls have big jiggly boobs and you can see their nipples through whatever they're wearing. Tucking expert, apparently. Kind of jealous. Something, something, something daylight? Dead by Daylight? Okay, Amos, I guess it is time to take a break. Till we get that leaf stone. Oh, that's right, we got bonbons. Let's get a dugong. Bonbon with a dugong. Oh, again, by the way, don't touch it. My comfort character is Yosuke Hanamura, and the fandom find him annoying, useless, homophobic. But I don't think he's like that. He's a teen growing up, learning to be clumsy and goofy. Low-key afraid I might make my future partner subconscious because of my art. Like, babe, I need this, please. Yeah, that's how it went. I brought this up for a friend who I view as a sibling at this point, but they have more hours in it than me. Okay, with Yosuke Hanamura, I apologize, 7th, mild Persona 4 spoilers that are not really spoilers because they're not implemented in the game. The whole thing about his arc, he's homophobic because he's bi and he's struggling with it. There's an unused thing where you could date Yosuke in Persona 4. There are even English voice clips recorded for it, and they dummied it out of the game. So his whole arc was learning that he was bi, and he was in love with the protagonist. Also, Guru, I think you'll be able to find somebody who will love and appreciate your art for what it is, or at least be neutral on it. Here, I created a lobster. So I wanted his arc in that. Didn't want to bring it up in case of spoilers. I apologize, I spoiled it, but like I said, it's a weird kind of spoiler, kind of not, because like, it's not in the game. But I don't know, I feel like even though it's a little bit of a spoiler, it's probably good to know that in advance so modern players aren't incredibly repulsed by Yosuke. Because the game did originally come out in 2008, and I feel like being kind of homophobic back then was a little more accepted from straight men. I'm not saying it was correct or good or that it should have been a thing at any point ever, but it was more accepted. Being straight men, be chill about my art, so I know it's possible. Not every guy's red-pilled, but I do want to respect boundaries. I understand that. Though it is funny to me, all these guys who go on about masculinity and stuff like that tend to be the most fragile, insecure human beings in the entire world. Playing P4 is definitely wonder where certain things are going to be handled in the remake. Okay, before I go on this rant real quick, 7th, have you gotten to, the Detective Prince. If you say no, I won't go any further. But maybe I shouldn't talk about it at all. I do want to play Persona 4 on stream at some point. And 3, and 5. Let's just tack on more 100-hour games into the streaming plans, because I'm just like that. Not yet, but I'm aware of Naoto's whole thing. Okay. Granted, then again, with the discourse that surrounds the game a lot of the times, it's probably hard not to be aware of it if you're active in RPG circles. Kinda wish I didn't know basically all the major things about Persona 3 and 4. I understand, Maddie. Hey, you'll get to see more of the subtle things, because I really like analyzing Persona 3 especially. I actually like Persona 4 more as a game, but Persona 3 is interesting to analyze, especially because it has 4 different versions that all have content, features, and design ideas that the others don't. Granted, the original 2006 version and FES are pretty similar, though there are some minor things that make FES not a 100% straight upgrade. 4-3, it's you and me. 2-1, we're gonna have fun, so blast off! Excalibur, it's not that bar. What do you own? Time Zone. Look at that ass, she's never alone. Wait, I don't think that's how that part goes. More so a big part of a close friend's coming out, so I'm familiar with the game. Oh, wow, that's pretty amazing. Uncovered a vocal stem. The entire intro to, Sonic CD is a vocal stem for me. Sonic CD is a really weird case to me because I love its aesthetics so much. Like the anime intro and ending sequences, the music, like the graphic design and everything about it. Toot toot Sonic Warrior, toot toot Sonic Warrior. The power is in your hand to turn on your Nintendo and play Mega Man. But it's like, to actually play Sonic CD is kind of my least favorite of the classic Sonic games. And no, I don't dislike it because it's not about go fast, zoom speed, it's more about exploration. I'm okay with it being more about exploration. I just don't feel like the game's design ideas necessarily all come through. That said, I'm about to go actually play some Persona 4 with that friend. Hell yeah. Have a good night, Seventh. Thank you for dropping by and hanging out. Have fun playing P4. Make sure to Blue Sky tweet about where you get in the game so I can eyeball it. Is it so funny? Like, I never got to play Sonic CD until, well, asterisk, I'll come back to this. But, I played Sonic CD for the first time on the GameCube Sonic Gems collection. And, well, not the same friend, not with us anymore. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Friends that got me to play Persona 4 in the first place recently. Oh, yeah, yeah. Either way, you have an awesome time playing Persona 4. Good night! But yeah, with Sonic CD, I didn't really get to play it for the first time until Sonic Gems Collection came out. Huh. But, Sonic Mega Collection for the GameCube had Sonic CD's intro as an unlockable bonus movie. So I watched the intro over and over so many times, and I absolutely loved it. Because, like, I knew about Sonic CD and stuff when I was a kid. Hey, Maddie, if you have, like, lemon-flavored or orange-flavored candy, I can't think of anything right now. Just throw it down in the chat. Not Lemon Head, because we used that one already for Quillfish. But, Warhead? I don't think we have a Warhead. Okay, Warhead it is. Thank you, Maddie. So, like, Sonic CD's intro existed rent-free in my head for years before I ever got to play it. It's actually animated by Toei and some people who worked on, like, Dragon Ball. I think it's specifically Studio Junio. I might have to go double-check that. Because the asterisks, from what I said before, is like, there's somebody my mom was related to. I don't remember anything about them, but I do remember that, like, they had a daughter that was about my age, and they had a JVC Xi, which is a console that could play both Genesis and Sega CD. Because for people not familiar, the Sega CD and the 32X both were separate attachments that would, like, hook into the Sega Genesis's expansion port. And also, a 32X and a Sega CD would need their own AC power adapters. So the JVC Xi, and there was another one that was pretty similar to the Xi, that was also from a different company, were basically a singular small console that could play Sega CD and Genesis in one, so it was actually really neat. It was like... But they had a JVC Xi, and they actually had Sonic CD. So I got to play maybe 20 minutes of Sonic CD when I was, like, really little. Because growing up, I had Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and Spinball, and, like, 3D Blast and stuff. Wow, the neurodivergent trans woman like Sonic the Hedgehog. Very shocking. Mods, spin their ball. Ow. So, question, what is a vocal stem? Like, the concept of a vocal stem in general? Well, I mean, you're familiar with the concept of stimming, which is short for, like, stimulation, which is something usually, but not always, neurodivergent people tend to do as kind of, like, it's kind of like how fidget spinners are. It's something to do with your hands, like, it could be something like clicking a pin, spinning something in place if it's, like, just the right thing to spin on a table, or, like, popping open and shutting a DVD case. Stuff like that as examples of stimming. A vocal stem is basically that concept, but you'll have something that you'll say a lot for no reason. Maybe you sit there, say it to yourself, or just for your own amusement, that you do just to, you know, kind of like generate... My brain just flatlined, oh my god. It's almost like a little exercise to generate serotonin a little bit. Humming as well, any sort of noise, yeah. Because vocal stems, like... It's like me saying pour one out for the gay guy enough that Kubi's friend is claiming I owe him money. So that future sign from Sonic CD. Yeah, that'd be a good one. It can also, like, affect the way that you say things in regular conversations, or the way you say perfect words. It's like, okay, for me, games that shout their own title, I can never just say the name of the game. Like, I can't just be like Mega Man 8. It's like, Mega Man 8! Or, you know, I can never just say The Bouncer. It's gotta be The Bouncer! So it can be anything like that. It can be something you just like have fun saying, even if it's nonsense. Because another one both Maddie and I picked up after listening to it on repeat, Resident Evil. Oh, that's a fantastic one, yes. Is like both of us are very stuck on the burning men's souls from Persona Trinity Soul. To the point where any references to houses being carpet-like just immediately is like a freaking like sleeper agent trigger. Including hella in sentences is something I cannot stop. Hits good like cold apple juice. Why don't I remember to use Aurora Beam on the Glygars? They are 4 times weak against ice. Sleepy Mouse, very true. I think RPGs give me vocal stems then too. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially like voice lines. For me, okay, the GBA version of Tales of Phantasia has permanently affected how I enunciate certain words. Like for example, indignation is a good one. There's also whenever you like finish a battle, it's like the I did it. The fact that Tales of Phantasia GBA's voice samples are super like crunchity makes it even better.
Demon Fang! Wait! I'm a genius! Double Demon Fang!
Congratulations. La la. I don't know why that friend was annoyed. I wouldn't stop saying pour one out for the gay guy. Like, you allow vocal stem to fade out. Vocal stems are like chewing gum. Once you extract enough flavor, you'll spit them out for a while until you find another piece or something just brings it back. Also, the PS1 version of Symphony of the Night is a really good vocal stem game. Vocal stem where saying I have breast cancer because of the room. I have a lot, but I cannot find them. They can only find me. The fact that it was annoying to him activated my younger brain to say it more. Well, that's just younger sibling logic. If it gets a reaction, then it's never, ever leaving. Feeling I know very well. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna remember to use Aurora Beam. We're beaming. The Harley Quinn accent, oh no. Digimon World 1, me and my friend go, yatta! To make Betamons cry. That was 4 times super effective and didn't KO? What the hell? Bonbon, what are you doing, homeboy? Digimon World 1 is one of the few games that I'm super nostalgic for that I don't own. I remember renting it, and okay, since you've played the game, Cole, you probably understand this, but like, I actually ended up getting Patamon, which was like my favorite Digimon at the time, And I really wanted to evolve into Angemon, and I don't know what happened, but it ended up evolving into Sukamon, and I'm not sure what I did wrong. So I actually reset the game back to an old save, and I managed to get Angemon, and then my Angemon died right before a boss fight. And I did not touch the game since. But going back and thinking about it and watching like footage and reviews online makes me wish I had stuck with the game and tried again. Short songs are ones I use when doing long tasks / waiting. They're fun. Context to my goes, I don't think... Yeah, I know, it's just the way... The Room is a vocal stem-filled movie in general. You're tearing me apart, Lisa! I did not hit her! That was OKKO's outro. I have never watched a single episode of OKKO except for the one that had Sonic the Hedgehog in it. I'm so sorry. I haven't heard it in multiple years, it just popped into my head. I will put it on my list of things I'll probably watch someday if I remember. There's like, there are a few fighting game ones that are really good, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3's Down. And I'm not sure which game it was from, but I think it's one like Street Fighter 3 with the KO. Street Fighter Alpha's got a lot of really good ones, like Alpha 3. You know, it all depends on your skills. Get ready to kick butt. This is Liz. Are you awake? Listen. I collect Pokemon plush dolls. Same. And I can't seem to get a hold of a Surf Pikachu doll. None of my friends have it. It must be totally rare. You could really brag about it if you had one. Okay, I'll call you later. Liz, you're the best. I stopped watching at a certain point. Got spoiled on something kind of major. I don't think it made me stop watching. They just occurred close together. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Let me take you for a ride. One that lived rent-free in my head is Guilty Gear Strive's another Encounter! Oh yeah, and Dragon Ball FighterZ Dramatic Finish! Toasty! Yeah, that's a classic. I'm not even that big of a fan of Mortal Kombat, but I will occasionally drop into a toasty. That sounds like I'm saying some really weird slang term. Actually, let's all pretend that that means something and say it every once in a while without explaining it to anybody. Okay, on stream? You guys know what I'm about at this point. Also, Gligar is one of the few Pokemon whose name is also pretty much the same in English and Japanese. Don't mean to disrespect, but this girl had an amazing toasty. That bitch is a toasty! She wanna meet Dramatic Finish! I also know how long it's been since I've seen OKKO because a Wolfman was turned human and thought he looked ugly and I didn't get why. Maddie having their Beauty and the Beast moment. Gotten better in some ways and worse in others. As long as the way you got worse in were like the sexy ways to be worse at things. Is it the Beauty and the Beast? Oh, for sure. Oh, okay. The Disney Beauty and the Beast movie, the original animated one, where like Beast transforms into a human at the end. Spoilers, I guess. And Belle is all like, oh, that's great. And it's funny because most people... Okay, I'm sorry. I spoiled Beauty and the Beast, you guys. I'm sorry. The movie's literally older than most of the people in this chat. You should have watched it by now. Skill issue, honestly. You should have been born earlier. Her face was literally... Literally... And the funny thing is, like, most girls watching it, you know, retrospectively looking back, were also kind of disappointed that he just turned into a regular dude. Oh, the hair went downstairs. I hope he's a shower. You're not gonna find that thing ever. I mean, that's something at least. So you're out of 10 stream spoilers. No! Ah! I'll unspoil it. Ooh. Fuck. Sending forth meteor. I told you I have a 3 meteor capacity limit. Now I'm gonna have to throw away one of my other ones. Damn, we're canceling Micaiah and Kubi in the same day. Well, it was a great run, you guys. I'll be sitting in a cardboard box on the street holding my cup, hoping some nice person will put a piece of cheese in it. Third went to someone else, I'm pretty sure. Your beast cock like a jungle, you push past the bush. Guys, where's the meteor above my house? Use the grass cutting knife. Fun fact, Matador is actually short for Maddie is adorable, and that's why they don't take any bowl. Oops, I'm so clumsy. Canceling streamers for the slightest reason is so fun. Let's do it more. What is it, fucking 2012 again? 2015? 16? 6? 7? At least one bowl. Pet on head. Like those men who explore jungles with the little plastic hat or whatever. Pith helmet, I think they're called. Which, like, I understand that that's an actual word, but it just sounds like Mike Tyson trying to say piss. It's either get eaten or get meteored. A rough world for Sessette, man. I'll do my best, boss. In 2026. Huh. Well, I mean, I know cancel culture was really hot in the late 2010s. It's still kind of a thing, but it doesn't seem as popular as it used to be. Granted, we have, like, actual real evils now, so, you know, no more trying to get somebody's career ruined over the fact that they said that your favorite Blorbo was mid. They canceled cancel culture. Well, now we have confirm cultures because the button mapping got flipped. Video game. I do be videoing those games. Check Cerebi real quick. What level does Seal evolve? I've been kissed by a nose on the rave. Ironic we couldn't cancel any actual crime committers, but that's fine. Virtue signaling's cool, I guess. Look how just and honest and truthful I am. I'm not actually going to use that to do anything to actually, like, help people, but I have to help my fictional characters. They're what's really important. 34. For Seal. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get Seal to 34, and after that, I'm probably gonna wrap up. I know it's a shorter stream tonight, but I did start a little later than usual, and I'm tired. And I am, like, craving some rigatoni. I feel like every time I stream, I want pasta. I was craving pizza earlier, but now I'm really in the pasta mood. You guys make me want pasta. Which is good, because I love pasta. My desire to have a super flat, skinny tummy, and my desire to eat mini noodle. Stream full of noodle. Send noodles. I mean, you may not send noodles, but I know Guru's drawn plenty of raw men. Wrap up. Silly mouse. Seal doesn't learn wrap. You mean he's just using that spike unprotected? That's so dangerous. Seal has no flow. Damn. Seal has no sauce. We can just go to the store and buy him some sauce. We are just noodles. You cutie noodles. Dot's getting her snuggles now. I mean, you saw my whip, so I can't hide anything. The high heels are what truly made that. Got a noodle for you. Udon, that is. I've been going blind from yawning for like the past hour, so a shorter stream is probably best in my case. Okay. Oh, shit. I hadn't fought this guy? My Pokemon and I are power-packed. Well, I guess it's good that I accidentally jumped. Sorry, dang, he parried me jumping down from there. Damn, he packing. The hike. I mean, look at the size of that rock snake. Oh, look, look, look! Damn, nice. Toasty!
I'm the big loser. I'm not much good at thinking, see, so I just plow ahead with power. Sheesh, the way you attacked, that was something. We should meet again. How about giving me your number? No. No? That's fine. Definite no is easy to take. I'll be right here when you're ready for a rematch.
I've managed to almost get myself back to where I wasn't accidentally leaving my Pokemon Peach file. Wow, with power. He tried to plow me one time, lasted like maybe a minute, and then wanted my phone number. I did think about it though. I'm getting headbutted by a kitty cat right now. Ain't that just the way? Okay, Rain, which ROM hack specifically is Pokemon Peach? Love is stored in the bonk. And now she's making some biscuit. I'm wearing 2 layers of sweater right now, so my titties are biscuit safe. Graveler's a kitty cat? Yeah, he's doing the big old biscuit grab. Though I always do wonder with Golem, since it's got like the lizard-like features, is there just like a hidden lizard inside Graveler? Typical man behavior. Fan game, new region based off Ireland. Oh, that sounds rad as hell. Send you a link if you want to look. I do. You know, I could see myself having a Golem. I'm personally a big fan of Alolan Golem because A, there aren't enough electric dual types until very recently. And I say very, it was like Gen 7 onward. I think since I'm down here, I might as well grab these berry trees that I don't often come and get. Send it over to your Discord. Hell yeah, thank you, Rain. I have a theory that Graveler and Machoke are meant to switch features when traded and evolve. Oh, kind of like how that's how Machamp gets the 4 arms, and then like Graveler Golem gets the like lizard face. Yeah, it kind of feels like the prototype to what they ended up doing with my brain is blanking. A Scavalier and a Selgor. Though personally, I think they should switch Excavalier and Excelgor for future games to just having their evolutions be like, maybe have them in the party and get to a certain level or something. Kind of like how Mantike is with Remoraid. Let's go ahead and move Warhead here to hang out with Booby Parfait. Let's go ahead and bring Mellow C back into the party. I don't know, like, I love that Legends Arceus introduced the, like, linking cord or whatever, so you could just use that as an evolution item for stuff like Kadabra and stuff. And it's so weird that it never made it into any other games. Granted, Legends Arceus is one of the least focused on multiplayer, because like trading stuff to evolve it does work in Legends Arceus. You had to defeat a number of Shelmet for Carablast. Kind of to make the opposite make sense, though, yeah. Hard Gligar. And Carablast and Shelmet level up both in the party, and then they evolve. Because, like, I have an infinite amount of appreciation for the fact that in Gen 8 onward, you can just get Glaceon and Leafeon by just using an Ice Stone or a Leaf Stone instead of having to go to a super secret special rock. Because if I recall correctly, they also changed, like, Magnezone, I think, is just to use a Thunderstone on Magnemite or Magneton now. Which I think is also the case. Was it not that way in Sun and Moon? No, in Sun and Moon, they had specific dedicated places for Leafeon and Glaceon. They still had that in Sun and Moon, if I recall correctly. Because Gen 8 is when they started making a bunch of sweeping quality of life changes. Okay, yeah, go ahead and check, Maddie. Just to make 100% sure. When was the last time we had Probopass? Well, the thing is, Probopass also is with the Thunderstone now. It actually makes Nosepass the only Pokemon to not evolve into an electric type using a Thunderstone. Hi, Wade.
Good evening, Mots. It's me, Wade. Are you awake? You feel like a Pokemon battle? It won't be like last time. Route 31's where I'll be. Let me know when you get here. See you later.
Peach and Lime versions are still a demo, but includes the first 3 gems. Still sounds like a lot of fun. I'll try not to delete my save data. Wade. Okay, Wade's over by Violet. Yeah, who'd do that? Probably someone incredibly cool and sexy.
I was waiting for you. Let's battle.
Comfy mode. Oh no, Bonbon's been afflicted with PlayStation Network. Also, I don't know if you guys heard it, but I put the mic up to Dot if you guys could hear her purring. Supersonic? Always with the freaking confusion moves. Ah! Get palette cycled. Learn takedown, takedown. But no, I will not be learning takedown. I don't like using self-damaging moves in playthroughs. My Pokemon do not want any ouchies. Okay, let's get our poor poisoned little seal out of here. Eevee can't evolve with an Ice Stone in Sun and Moon. I've made a mistake. Don't do that anymore. Get hypnotized. Yeah, not so fun when it happens to you, is it? Nightshade. You know, that reminds me, I need to catch up on some Continue show. I am so glad those guys are still rocking it over a decade later. We don't support self-harm, thank you. Be drilled. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to be drilled. Uh-oh, my... How fucking dare you, first of all. Ah! Twins? Not too tired. Understandable. Oh my god. Uh-oh. I'm actually in trouble. Haha. Wait. Knight's your shade, Uwu. Orange. Honestly, this is actually a pretty metal Beedrill sprite. Like, I don't think I've ever appreciated Crystal's Beedrill sprite enough. It's really good. Somebody can Beeder. Man, Beedrill got hands. Stingers. Okay, let's go ahead and get Mellow Cream out of here. Fuck it, Taki. Your hands under the stingers. You think it has tiny, they just fomp off? I was just thinking they were like Mega Man's Mega Buster, where they just turn into hands, but they turn into four-fingered cartoon gloved hands. And they're the gloves that have those three little, like, notches that pop up on the back. Aww. Like the horse in Adventure Time. I have never watched an entire episode of Adventure Time, fun fact. I mostly know it through memes and cultural osmosis. And the fact that it has a game that's on DS that, Okay, now that you say it was a deer, I actually know what you're talking about because it's been memed a lot. This horde does that too. Equally possible. Equine-ally possible. Haha. Can you guys tell I'm tired? I'm hiding it so well. Might have been a deer. You're a deer. Ooh. Angari. The relationship's not stable. They might have to get a div horse. Never watched Adventure Time either. I only know James Baxter was in it as a horse, and he animated himself as that horse. Self-horsification? Don't worry, I have a plan for getting rid of the Eepees passes out. I mean, that is a good plan. Is there a horse happening? There's a lot of horseplay going on. I might have to hoof it out of here, you guys. Gotta stick it to all the naysayers. Yeah, you need to stop horsing around. Hey, that's enough. James Baxter's like one of the best animators in North America. I think I know who you're talking about, and yeah, he's freaking amazing. Games bookstore. That sounds like a place I'd like to be. He was also one of the lead animators in Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. Who's James Baxter and why is TikTok angry about him? TikTok's always angry. So the whole horse thing checks out. I feel like Spirit was one of those movies that was mandatory if you were a feminine-leaning individual born between the years of 1997 and 2001. Well, no, born earlier, but we're a kid between the era of 1997 and 2001. Completely forgot about Spirit. Spirit. Some people hear it. Some people fear it. Spirit. Some people just won't go near it. Remember that movie is Horses Nearly Drowning. Childhood horse trauma. Horse trauma, you'll be falling in the... James Baxter's not a controversial animator? Not as far as I know. I would take that horse guy. I mean, yeah, of course you would, Guru. The classic Dojin female love interest where it just has the pussy of infinite depth. It's just TikTok being angry. Yeah, more than likely. Like, if there's a controversy on Blue Sky, I'll look into it. If there's a controversy on TikTok, I just ignore it because it's what I call a non-traversy. A really well-written cat. Yeah. I mean, she is Guru Neko, so... Like the wafer. I have not had Necco wafers in a while, but I can still distinctly remember the taste of them. I mean, honestly, me too, Guru.
Awesome.
Nah. Low-key hate when TikTok's like, this artist can't draw. Like, it's their monolids, like, but yeah, not all Asians have monolids for sure. But again, it comes back to the whole thing, and I think I mentioned this on stream talking to you before, is that people will be like, oh, why do anime characters' hair look like this? And, you know, like, the weird assumption that anime characters are quotation marks white. It's like, no. Anime characters, in general, are designed to look Asian. Because, like, the thing is, like, the classic spiky anime protagonist hair, a lot of Asian people have hair that just does that if left unattended. Not to the extreme degree, obviously, but it's exaggerated because it's animated. I mean, hell, back when I had short hair, I would literally have ahoge. Like, I would have just big things of hair just pop right off the top of my head, like, and it would even, like, curve forward and everything. I look like fucking Brian from Quest 64. Also, Quest 64 is a game I really like. Even though it's, like, a very controversial game. See, bringing it back around to the fact that, like, a lot of games I like tend to be ones that people write off. I have hair on the side of my head stick out and curl. That's actually really cute. But yeah, and Guru, going back to what you said about, like, thinking about monolids and stuff like that with... Asian people's eyes. That's how you get, like, freaking things like a lot of American comics and stuff, especially in the early 2000s. Would have, like, Asian characters when, like, for some weird reason, from a distance, they always look like they were squinting somehow, and I'm like, that. I have met many people of various Asian descents in my life. None of them ever have small, tiny eyeballs. They don't have big eyeballs either. They just have normal-sized eyes, and I don't even get where the idea of the whole squinting thing even comes from. Speaking of cat, I find it funny that I have guys and creepy going, "Hey baby, I can make you purr." If it wasn't creepy, I'd love a woman to come and be like, "I can make you purr." Just like, you know, be petted and lay on a lap and be comfy. Like, actually though, that'd be so nice. I remember I was thinking a white girl about Ulala from Space Channel 5. To her, Ulala's white, while to me, Ulala's your average Japanese girl because of her mannerisms. About that. Oh my gosh, which part? I find it interesting how they're trying not to be... Yeah, like... It's weird to me that they're like... It's the same thing as people who are like pro-censorship when it's something that they don't like. It's like, you are just a conservative wearing a rainbow dress. There's a joke in Japan where some people do have slanted eyes where their own mother asks them... I mean, like I said, I'm not saying it's a 0% thing that's never been a part of anyone's face ever. I just don't know why it's such a weird stereotype. But then again, I don't know. Maybe that's one of those weird things on the lines of how, like... For some reason, whenever they put an American in, like, a Japanese anime or something in, like, the 90s or early 2000s, they would always have blonde hair and blue eyes, even though almost nobody in America does. Like I said, not nobody, but it's a pretty small percent of the population. The greater majority of people have, like, either red or brown hair. And most people just have brown eyes in America. There are plenty of blue and green-eyed people and stuff and hazel-eyed people, but most of the time it's the brown-brown mix. Almost there. I think I said it was level 34. Well, phone is impossibly far away now that Dot's pinning me against the chair. Can't lean forward when baby comfy. But again, it's easily identifiable indicator that they're different. Now I want to be coddled. I did this to myself. Hello, Julia. Goodbye, Julia. Bonbon's evolving. Let's go. Different as in foreign? Yeah, I know what you meant. Your Bonbon evolved into Dewgong. Oh man, it's too bad 7th wasn't here to see it, because apparently Dewgong is one of his favorite Pokemon, if I recall correctly. Dewgong. I actually have a really big soft spot for Dewgong, because one of the first Pokemon things I ever had as a kid was KFC. Had 4 Pokemon plushies that you could buy. Gong gong gong. Gong! But, KFC had 4 Pokemon plushies you can buy. Now, you'd assume, oh, they're like Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and Pikachu, right? Or something like that. No. The 4 plushies that they had at KFC were Vulpix, Zubat, Seal, and Dratini. And I still have at least one of each. I'm pretty sure I still have my originals. Though the Vulpix one is very mischievous, and I just find it at random places across the house. I definitely did not put it. But yeah, I still have my originals, and I bought whenever I find them at thrift stores for a cheap price, I will buy them. Sorry, that's me. Oh, that makes sense. Yay, Bonbon getting his victory lap in. But, yeah, so I actually have quite an affinity for Seal and Zubat and Vulpix. His back sprite is adorable. It is. I actually really love how Dugong looks in 3D and like the current games that it's in. It looks so elegant and pretty. But yeah, so some of the first Pokemon stuff I ever owned was those four. Actually, I do wonder if that plays into why I have such a strong affinity for the Zubat line. Hi, Liz.
Good evening, Mods. This is Liz. Are you awake? Hi, do you have some free time? I've got all sorts of time. If you're free, would you like to battle? I'll be waiting on Route 32. Let me know when you get here. I'll call you later.
Okay, let's go battle Liz, and then we'll call it a night. Let's go ahead and put Mellow in the front. Let's see here, 32, so I can have to go south of Violet. Because that Mellow, I'm gonna need to get to at least level 40, probably higher. That way, he can outspeed Entei. Because remember, in Crystal, you catch Suicune as part of the story, and Raikou... My brain stopped. Raikou we use the Master Ball on. So Entei is the only one we're actually going to have to hunt down. So... a funny story involving Zubat, because I wanted to breed a Rowlet, but ended up getting a Zubat with Brave Bird. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Yeah, Crobat's really fast and has high attack power, so that would have been pretty awesome. This is the third time you said that. You better be serious this time. What about catching Daddy Entei? You're late. Let's get started now. Okay, next time we stream Crystal, you can hold me to this. We will level up Mellow Cream and we will go Entei hunting. We need that milk. My cereal is very dry. Our cereal is so dry. Damn it, Maddie. Same vein. Oh boy, I feel really bad. Sorry, Liz. Entei, more like hentai, am I right? I mean, if you're gonna have a buff top Poké-Sona. Mouse. Ooh, I've got to relieve my anger. Liz, do you want to relieve your anger by having a girl-on-girl makeout session? I bet that would help you feel better. I'll telephone you if I hear anything interesting. Worth a shot. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save. My brain malfunctioned to double take. I mean, maybe it's because Cole didn't spell Entei correctly. I can't believe you don't know how to spell your dad's name. I'm kidding, I can believe it, because, you know, he just left. Okay. You know, I hate that I recognized what you were going for immediately. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out and Crystal and stuff with me. And I'm probably bringing the curse upon myself by saying this, but I am actually really glad that I managed to get the whole stream and my internet didn't cut out. So thank you guys so much. It was a lot of fun. Have a wonderful night. I should hopefully be back tomorrow unless I feel completely awful with the weather as it is, who knows. But thank you so much. The earth is healing, finally. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Bye!
Game over!